I know I promised more deep background on Kane and Nod, but there'll be time for that later. Carter says you hit the ground fighting. Nice job. Now we need that again. Somewhere in this section is a Nod base. It's protected against airstrikes by Nod SAM sites. Knock them out so Colonel Morelli can provide air support. That should make it easier for you to take out the base. I'll be out of the loop for a couple of days doing civvy time at the UN. Don't let me down.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back, and we are in Mission 3, and we're going to kick it off right away. Still in the area where missions are very, very quick, and all we're doing there is hotkeying. There's a very interesting bug with this game, as you may have saw. If you select units a touch too quickly, and your cursor is actually over a building, it will select that building. It'll play the yes sir response from the units, but you'll have a building selected. And you'll be trying to move a building. So the Humvees are pre-deployed. We cannot build any more Humvees, but this introduces you to a new unit, the Grenadier. I don't like Grenadiers, but they're pretty much all we have to work with at this point when it comes to dealing with structure damage. Where the unit dies, they self-destruct in a nova that damages all units, friendly or enemy, around them. They throw grenades, which also deal AoE damage to friendly and enemy units. Lots of friendly fire in this game. Lots.
Construction complete.
Building multiple production structures of the same type increases your production speed. Because we can only train infantry, we're building multiple barracks just so that we can start pumping out infantry. It's sort of key to getting this mission done relatively quickly. The communication center is going to provide our radar,
Unit ready. Building.
and all we need to do now is start pumping out grenadiers.
Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building.
In my experience, optimum economy would be 2 harvesters per refinery. I know that the modded OpenRA multiplayer community would have different opinions about that. But for the purposes of the main story, we're doing this. You almost want, it basically allows one harvester to actually be out harvesting and another one to be dropping off a load per refinery at all times. So there's 2 objectives to this mission, actually. One of them is to destroy all Nod buildings, and the other is to destroy all Nod SAM sites. As the SAM sites actually function as a Nod building, you could argue there's only one objective, but actually does phrase it as if you have 2 objectives. Your Grenadiers can reach the SAM site over the wall, if you give them the order to. They won't automatically throw at it, but they can certainly reach it. So you want to destroy that SAM site, and this SAM site here from your side of the wall. Once you've done that, there'll be one more SAM site to destroy that's close to the Nod base. It's a common mechanic when you're playing as GDI in almost all the missions that if you destroy all SAM sites deployed on the map, you will unlock something called the airstrike. The airstrike calls in bombers that will drop fiery explosions. It's incredibly lethal to infantry and can do a lot of damage to buildings too. It's quite hard to hit vehicles with it though. So we're just sneaking around the edge because we don't want to... And that's the final... So there's a number of Nod buggies
Building.
within the
Unit
Nod base,
ready.
which is one of the reasons why it
Unit
provides you with the
ready.
airstrike.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Airstrike ready.
There you go, with the final,
Unit ready. Unable to
the final one down.
Select target.
I'm going to blind fire on the Nod buggies.
Select target.
And as you can see, it did quite a lot of damage to what it hit. And it softened up the vehicles for us. So we're just going to use this batch of Grenadiers to finish them off and try to take out the barracks, but ultimately fail. Barely, I'd like to add. Barely fail. But this mission's really straightforward. There's no tactical gimmicks or anything needed for it. You just have to train a lot of men and win. Now, one of the things that's different about Command & Conquer to, say, the Warhammer is we've gone from a finite, limited resource that we have to care about to what is essentially mass production warfare. You're going to be hearing her saying unit lost almost constantly, because we're going to be losing units almost constantly.
Building unit ready. Building unit ready.
There's an interesting little story point here.
Building unit ready.
Nod
Unit
have
ready.
pulled you into Latvia, I believe,
Building unit
to stop them. And what they actually do, there's a small village in the northeast that if you're in this mission long enough, you can see Nod attacking it. They then blame that on you, because GDI forces were there and all the people died and there's no trace of Nod because you wiped out all traces of Nod. So they actually blame GDI for killing civilians as part of the story, and it's all because you're here. And that's really cool.
Building unit ready. Building unit ready. Unit ready. Select target.
And there you go. Just to add some flavour to the story, I actually did do it.
Mission accomplished.
And that's this mission.